So it's Sunday night. It's been a rough weekend for mental health things. A few things have happened. So I had to run errands yesterday, and with running errands, the first store I went to, they put out the sign that said that they need pennies. There's a penny shortage because the Trump admin stopped printing pennies. Anyway, neither here nor there if that's even needed. But I have a bunch of pennies in my car that I don't really use. I think the last time I grabbed pennies out of there for something I needed was like over a year ago. So I'm like, hey, I got some pennies. I don't really need them. I'm gonna bring them out to you. You're seeing my computer change screens. So I go in, grab like 20 cents worth of pennies. I just grabbed them. I think I said, hey, I think these are 20, give or take, right? And I close the container. The container's to the left of my steering wheel, to where my legs can hit getting in. So I want to make sure that that's up when I go and leave. In doing so, I close it, bring it in, give them the change. I go to get back in my car. I guess it didn't latch and it reopened, and I scraped my shin against it. It's gnarly. It hurt like a bitch when that happened. Any case, tell my wife about it because I thought it was like, hey, this is fucking stupid. Go to the second place, which ended up being Aldi. Did a lot of shopping there. And then went to the last place, which is the main grocery store here. It had like a few things on sale that I was really trying to get. So I go there. I did this self-checkout. I typically do self-checkout just because I like to be able to make sure the prices are correct. Because call it social awkward, but it feels really weird to say, hey, that was 3 for $5 on the shelf. Can you do a price check to the cashier? Because one of my first jobs was a cashier at a grocery store, and I couldn't get up and go do it. I would always have to call over someone else to. So I like doing self-checkout for that purpose. I got a few things, one of which was my wife mentioned she wanted to have hot dogs in the house just as something random, so I got hot dogs. Doing the carousel, bagging it up, everything like that. I go to grab the bag to leave, the hot dogs fall behind the self-checkout into this basically closed cashier line. I go around, there's like this little chain that's meant to block people. And I go to try to reach under it. I knock the chain down, which causes a loud beeping noise, which is like an alarm, that's weird. So I pick up the hot dogs, reclose it. When I reclose it, I drop the hot dogs again, bend down to grab it and knock the thing down again, and then close it again to get rid of the beeping. Now I'm outside. And anyone that's ever gone grocery shopping knows sometimes it's hard to remember exactly where you park. You have a general idea. So I'm walking down, and I notice that I'm not on the right side. I see my car. And there's like a median. I mean, I could probably walk, I don't know how many feet, towards the end. Because I think I was like 7 spaces from the end on my row. So I had to walk those 7, then back around. Well, you know what? I'll just cross over the median. That shouldn't be too big of a problem. Go to cross over the median. The shopping cart gets caught on a tree root and almost tips over. I did play video games with my brother that's in a different state than my wife. We did it on a stream, and I actually tell part of this story on it. I almost tip over the shopping cart. Yeah. So we live on the second floor. When I get here, a lot of times we load groceries into boxes to carry them up. They tend to be very heavy because I'll get stuff like potatoes, milk, things like that. Like I got my wife Sprite. I had soda myself, but I left my 12 packs down there to carry up later. I do 0 sugar, she does, and she does full sugar. Anyway, so now I'm walking this box, heavy ass box that has like milk, it has potatoes, it has ground beef, chicken, some ground turkey, a couple other things in there. And I'm walking up the stairs. I'm wearing sandals because I'm from Florida. If I'm wearing shorts, I'm gonna wear sandals. Just ease more than anything else. Walking up the stairs, my sandal gets caught in the stairs. I almost fall over. I lose my shoe for like 4 steps and then almost drop everything that I'm holding. To where I had to she helped me get it up to the landing on the stairs, which is like 4 steps away. Then went down and got my sandals and carried it back in. It was eventful. So that happened. The other thing that's been going on is, weirdly enough, me, a friend, and my brother are all doing their own little weight loss thing. So this came about 4 weeks ago. I was talking with this particular friend while playing a video game, and we were talking about how many calories he eats in a day, because he did the math. He's doing like 7,000 or something like that. And I'm like, I don't do that high. I don't eat a ton of stuff. He goes, well, it ended up being a lot more than you think. And I said, well, here's the thing. This is what I typically eat in a day. And he's like, actually, that doesn't sound bad. I know. So I did like a day to just track out of curiosity what it came out to. And it came out to like 2,300, 2,400 calories, right around there. I work remote, which is ideal because I have dogs and I have kids. So when they come to visit, it's easier for me to work and keep them here when I don't have to worry about making sure they have someone to watch them and things like that. So I'm not like outside doing labor jobs. I'm typically sitting at a desk. Like I'm sitting at my personal desk right now doing this video. I do want to get a point to where I get up, down, standing desk where I can raise it and lower it, just because I like to stand more while working, but got to get to that point, right? So I started tracking my calories about 3 weeks ago. And I'm doing it and keeping myself in check where I don't know where my bathroom scale is. I know I moved with it. I just don't know where it is and what box, because we're still getting a lot of our stuff from the old home. Because my brother-in-law brought it to my father-in-law's house, and I had to go down and get it, bring it back up because we moved out of state. Anyway, so one of the things I do have is being able to measure it and keep myself honest in that sense. So I'm tracking the calories and taking photos. So I do measurements on Monday. It would be measurements in weight on Monday, and then photos on Tuesday to see if there's any like physical changes, which I've already, like in 2 weeks, I've already noticed a few. So since the 3 weeks I've been doing it, I've lost 3 inches around. I'm measuring my stomach. People call that the waist. I don't call it the waist because I typically wear clothes a little bit lower, like pants a little bit lower than the belly button, but I'm measuring at the belly button because it's typically the widest point, right? Especially with where I maintain and keep majority of my weight. So I've lost 3 inches there as of me measuring a couple minutes ago, which I'm typically measuring in the morning. I think it's gonna be a little bit more than 3 inches when I measure in the morning, because I did just eat like a half a pound of strawberries. But been doing that. Been doing a nightly push-ups, 100 push-ups a night. I want to incorporate sit-ups. Gotta find a place to do that. I do want to get to a point where I'm actually physically going to a gym, because the last time I bench pressed, which is a long ass time ago, like over 10 years ago, I don't think I can bench press it now, but I used to be able to bench press 275. I would like to get back to that point. And I used to be able to squat 400 pounds. So I really would like to get back to that point. I do get exercise going up and down the stairs, bringing those heavy ass fucking items, walking my dogs 4 to 5 times a day, going up and down the stairs. So it's not like I'm not getting exercise. I'm not doing the almost 2 miles a day walking, just because I'm not that familiar with this area yet. But I am walking around here, walking them to the dog park that's a little ways away. Things like going up and down the stairs. But yeah, it's been an interesting time.